The world #1 and Masters champion joins us right now, Scottie Scheffler. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us. And Scottie, when you won, you said that this isn't going to change my life. Then you won again. Then you became world #1 and still told us this is not going to change my life. You are now a Masters champion. How has your life changed?
I would say off the course, when we go out in public, I think just because there's a recency bias, maybe a few more people recognize me, but that's pretty much it. If you're outside of the golf world, I don't think many people still care, who I am or whatnot. But life at home is pretty much the same. We're chilling at home and hanging out with our friends. Not much changes for us. We're not doing anything too exciting at home.
Scottie, this week you have a chance for your 5th win, or 4.5, since you'd have to share it with Ryan Palmer. You obviously like the format here. You played well with Bubba Watson last year. What is it about the format you like, and how did you end up with Ryan Palmer as your partner?
Yeah, I think the format's really fun. There's very few times throughout the year where you get to play with a partner, and if we get the chance to come down here and it works in the schedule, it's going to be a lot of fun. And Ryan and I, we're good buddies at home. I've known him since I was in high school, and he's my workout buddy in the off season. We see the same trainer, same chiropractor, and we have the same coach. And so I've known Ryan for years, and he's been a good guy for me to bounce stuff off of as I've kind of been navigating the professional golf life. And I'm looking forward to playing with him this week.
Scottie, you got to take us inside the ropes on this question, because I wanted to jump on what Eamon just asked you. When did he ask you to be his partner? How many other players kind of had the awkward phone call and said, like, hey, do you have a partner yet?
Not too many that I can think of. Outside of, I played with Bubba last year, and this year he bailed on me. So Ryan asked me, I think it was in LA, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be in my schedule or not, but it's close to home. It's a fun event. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to enjoy the food down here for the week and just hang out and have a good time. And Ryan and I are going to be out on the golf course competing, and it should be a fun week.
You didn't get Bubba, but you did get Ted Scott on your bag, at least. Let's go back 10 days here. You talked after you won the Masters at how you'd wept that morning because you were unsure if you were ready for the moment. At what point during that final round, Scottie, did you realize you were ready for the moment?
Going into Sunday, the only thing I wanted to do was have peace on the golf course. And so I was more just anxious for everything to get started. And by the time I got to the golf course, I was very relaxed. For me, I think the buildup is just different. Some of my friends were asking me about it last night, if, Austin felt different than the Masters and different than Phoenix and, all that stuff. And the Masters is different. It's a major championship. It's the Masters. It's Augusta National. It's a totally different ball game. But it's not that I didn't think I was prepared to go out and play golf. I think I was maybe a little bit more afraid of everything else that comes with it. And so the golf part has always been the simplest for me. You just go out there and try and shoot a low score and just hit shots. And so I think most of that anxiousness was the other stuff kind of surrounding it. And by the time I got to the golf course, I was at peace.
Scottie, in retrospect, when you look back on an experience, and you just saw, we featured your social media post where you were saying, just, it's incredible the next day, paraphrasing. I'm curious, though, about what you learned, particularly through that final round, because I know all of you great champions learn something every time that you play. What did you learn about yourself as you marched to victory?
I would say you're constantly learning as a professional golfer, and when you get into those bigger moments, for me, the Ryder Cup was probably the most special, just because I've always viewed the Ryder Cup as the most special tournament. Getting to represent your country, playing against Europe. I have so much pride in the United States, and I love it so much. And I love that golf tournament. I've seen us, lose it a few times in the past, and it hurts me when I watch that on TV. So the Ryder Cup for me has always been that tournament that was above all the others. And having been able to just be a part of that team and play a few matches, when you go home and I'm preparing, I know what it feels like for the maximum amount of pressure for me. The Ryder Cup is the most pressure I think you feel on the golf course. And when I get home, I'm able now to prepare for what that feels like. And it's a lot different knowing exactly what you feel like when you're in that moment. And so what I've learned throughout the course of this year is I'm not having to play perfect golf. And I don't need to put so much pressure on myself to play perfect golf. I'm just going out there and enjoying myself and trying to execute shots. And that's what I've been trying to do the last few months, and it just so happened that, I've been doing it a little bit better than I have in the past. And so I'm going to, enjoy this ride and, just keep trying to do what I'm doing and improve a little bit.
Well, on paper, for sure, it looks pretty darn close to perfect golf you've been playing the last few months, Scottie. You entered this year, now you've got your first win. You've now got 4. You're #1 in the world. You're a major champion with a green jacket. What goals did you set starting this year, and have you actually had to adjust them as you move through the rest of the year?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit weird in that sense. I don't look too far into the future. I've spoken about it a little bit in the past, but if I was to look at my whole career and say, hey, I want to win 10 majors, in my head, I would be saying to myself, oh, don't worry, I have plenty of time to win all those majors. You know, I got this many chances, and I don't focus as much as I can on the moment. And so for me, what works the best is focusing on the task at hand. And so this week, I'm just focused on the Zurich and playing with Ryan. We're getting prepared for alternate shot and best ball, and that's really all that I'm thinking about. I don't set long-term goals or place expectations on myself. All I'm trying to do is come out here and execute shots, and that's really all that I think about.
Scottie, with all due respect to that assessment about kind of keep staying where your feet are right now this week, in May, we've got the PGA Championship. It's at Southern Hills. You've said that it is one of your favorite golf courses. You've had success there in the Big 12 Championship as an individual champion on that venue. How much are you looking forward to just keeping it rolling with everything that you're doing?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I have another start before then at the Byron Nelson, and I'm looking forward to both those events. And obviously the majors are a bit different. The majors and the players are a bit different than the rest of the events. But, you know, I'm looking forward to the challenge. Those are kind of the ones you highlight on the calendar, the major championships. And you want to compete against the best and play well against the best. And so for me, I'm just going to keep my head down and just keep preparing and make little incremental improvements. I'm not ready to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. Just keep doing what I'm doing.
To that point, Scottie, I'm also curious about momentum because you're obviously on a heater right now. You're playing really well. And from a player's perspective, I'm curious how you view what you're doing day in and day out. Do you see it as a hot streak, or is this Scottie Scheffler moving forward?
Shoot, I don't really know. For me, you know, like I said, I'm just out here trying to compete and play golf. I don't look too much on the past. I don't look too much on the future. Just try and focus on the present. And so for me, it's just really this week and just preparing for this week. And I've never been one of those guys that's made drastic swing changes or drastic ways to how I approach golf. I've always enjoyed playing the game, moving the ball, hitting shots. And so for me, I'm still just trying to make those little improvements. And so whether it's improving my short game, putting, ball striking, whatever it is, you're not going to see me make a massive swing change. I'm just going to make little incremental improvements and just keep trying to get a little bit better versus trying to get a ton better all at once.
Scottie, we know you like Augusta National. You've said you like Southern Hills. To what degree do you have any experience of either the country club at Brookline for the US Open or the Old Course for the Open Championship?
I've never played the Old Course. I played a USAM at Brookline, and I have lots of good memories there for myself. And then also my coach, Randy Smith, has some great memories there. He was at the Ryder Cup in '99 coaching Justin Leonard. And so he has some pretty special memories that he shared with me from that tournament and the celebration and watching Justin hold that putt. So for both of us, it's got a special place, and you know, I love that golf course.
Hey, Scottie, have you guys announced what your song is going to be, your walk-up song?
No, not yet. We're going to keep it a surprise.
Fair enough. It is no surprise, though, that you are playing so well. It has been a joy to watch. We wish you the very, very best, and we thank you very much for your time as ever.
Awesome. Thank you all very much. Appreciate you having me on.